Welcome back and welcome for the first time. Let's just settle right into meditation. Maybe just do a little bit of shoulder rolls, a little bit of movement. If you want to stand up, you can. Just move your body in whatever way feels good right now. If you've been sitting already, definitely stand up for a minute and do a little bit of stretching. Good. And find a seated or lying down posture. Standing up is okay, of course. And you can keep your eyes open if you want, but if you keep your eyes open, I would suggest you just look downward, keep them soft and on something neutral. It's easier to go inward with your eyes closed for most people, but for some people that can feel scary or claustrophobic. So just kind of feel into what's best for you today. There's no right or wrong. And allow your eyes to close if that's what you're doing. And if you're sitting in a chair or on the ground or a couch or whatever, allow your posture to be upright. Get yourself comfortable. So if your low back is hurting, shove a pillow in there or whatever. Make yourself as at ease and as comfortable as possible. Or maybe your body's really hurting today and it just feels better to lie down. So just do that. Try not to force anything. I'm finding more and more that the more at ease you can be, the easier it is to go into a deep state of meditation. And just begin by starting to notice your body. So we get very disconnected oftentimes when we're busy, especially on a screen, get very outwardly focused. So just feel first, notice your feet. Maybe they're on the ground, maybe they're tucked up underneath you, or maybe you're lying down. Just notice any sensation in your feet or lack of sensation. Then bring your awareness down to your sacrum. So the bottom of your spine or your sits bones, your hips, your base. If you're sitting, just feel the pressure and the weight of your body. And then follow your spine up from the sacrum, noticing any sensation in your back. And as you follow your awareness up through the spine, notice or imagine a little string at the crown of your head, just tugging gently up on the crown of your head. So your spine is elongated but relaxed. The chin, if it's comfortable, is maybe a little bit slightly tucked. And your shoulders are as soft and relaxed as you can allow them to be. If you're not sure if they are or not, you can always scrunch up your shoulders up towards your ears and then release your shoulders. A lot of times we don't realize when we're holding tension in the body because it's just so chronic. And then bring awareness to your hands. Just notice your hands. Be with your hands for a moment. Notice temperature. And If your hands are contacting one another, just notice that, the feeling of your hands touching. Notice sensation. And moving your awareness up to your head and just consciously inviting your face to soften. It's another area of the body that we unconsciously hold a lot of tension. So see if you can just allow your mouth to open and your jaw to go slack. Just exaggerate it at first. And then you can allow the mouth to close, but just keep that relaxed jaw. Imagine that your eyes can literally drop back into their sockets, seeing as all the little muscles around your eyes loosen and soften. Consciously releasing any tight muscles in the face and in the scalp, jaw, and neck. And then tuning into your breath. Just tuning into the simple coolness of the breath as it comes in your nostrils. And the warmth of the air as it comes out the tip of your nose. And if you can't breathe through your nose for whatever reason today, just notice your breath at the mouth instead. With every out breath, imagine that your face can soften and release a little bit more, and your shoulders as well. You might even inwardly say the word soften to yourself, not as a command so much, but more of as like an invitation to the body to lean in, to relax and soften. Then we're going to do a systematic way of kind of withdrawing into yourself. So, first, I want you to imagine that you are on your own in a very comfortable place. And I want you to imagine that you have everything around you that you need. You're safe. All the people or things that make you feel at ease are around you. And they'll be here when you get back. Just for a short period of time, We're going to withdraw from those people, places, and things so that for a time we can go inward and rest. Because the outside world is really quite exhausting sometimes. So we're not going inward to run away from anything or ignore it. We're going inward just to give ourselves a little respite, a little pause from the chaos of the world. I've been looking at trees a lot lately. I think I've shared with all of you that I have a hard time with winter, but that I wasn't going to retell that story again this year, and that I was going to lean into winter. And so I've been thinking about different ways to do that. And a wise teacher of mine suggested that I ask the trees to help me, to show me how to do winter. And so as I've been walking in the forest, I've been just kind of inwardly talking to the trees and paying attention to the trees. And what strikes me about the trees right now is they're very pulled in. They're very, very pulled in. They're in a temporary hibernation state, where it almost feels like they're in this deep reflection. Of course, I'm personifying the trees and everything, but that's just the feeling I get when I'm in the forest right now. It's very quiet. And I used to see the trees this time of year as being kind of sad and stark and depressing. But now I'm seeing it a little differently. I'm seeing the trees as being in a resting place. They're letting themselves rest before all the growth and transformation and the blooms of spring. We all need a period of rest and reflection and quietude. And now is that time. And that's what the trees are doing. So almost like a tree, just imagine that you're pulling everything you need inward. You're just taking a little retreat, little respite from the world for the next little bit here. So imagining that everything around you is temporarily falling away. If that feels too scary right now, then just continue imagining yourself surrounded by all the people and things you need and love. If it doesn't feel scary, then imagine a very warm, cozy stillness. And it's dark, almost like it must be for a baby inside the womb. So it's not a stark darkness. It's a darkness full of nurturing. It's a darkness full of love. You might even imagine yourself in the womb. The earth as our mother. And you're just cozy and warm and safe in the womb of the earth. And she's protecting you. And just as she does for the trees, she's providing you with the opportunity to rest. It's very quiet and very dark, so that your eyes can finally just heal and they can completely relax because they're not squinting or fighting against the light. They can just absolutely relax. And then, now that you've withdrawn from the world and you're in your cozy womb, now we're going to withdraw even further into ourselves. The body is a house that houses, some people believe in this and some people don't. And you don't have to believe any certain thing to meditate by any means. But some people believe in an essence, and they might call it a soul or spirit, something that goes beyond an energy, maybe. And so if that resonates with you, then you can do this. And if it doesn't resonate, just leave it behind. You can do the meditation either way. So the body is temporary. That we can agree on. And for those of you that believe in an essence or an energy that survives the body, I'm just going to use the word soul, but you can, like I said, I don't want to offend anybody, and you can replace that word with whatever you want: energy, essence, true self, whatever. Or you can just, you don't have to believe in that at all. You can believe that there's nothingness without the body or emptiness. And all of it's fine. It's really all the same thing anyway. So we're going to pull in from the body. So it's almost like you're imagining, I'm going to guide you in imagining that you're pulling in your energy from each part of your body. And you might picture it as a pinpoint of light or a collection of light. You could picture each one of your cells of your body as a light, and we're gathering the energy. So start at your left foot, your left big toe, and start to imagine all these little light droplets coalescing. And then from all the toes, and they coalesce and they move together up through your foot, just sort of pulling the energy in towards the center of your body. The light energy ball moves up through your foot, up through your ankle and calf, collecting all of the energy that makes you, you, collecting it, coalescing it. It's moving up through your knee now, up through your thigh, towards your hip. And then that coalesced ball of light sort of is going to coalesce and sit in the middle, right around your root. So right around the bottom of your spine. And then move to your right foot. And in the right toes, all the toes, you start to see these little light droplets. And they start to come together and they start to move upward, collecting all the energy from the body as you go up through the foot and heel and ankle. Ball of light moving upwards through the calf and knee. Now up through your thigh, your upper thigh, and your hip. Collecting energy from the pelvic area and then coalescing with the other ball of light at the sacrum. Then imagining as this ball of light moves upward through the body, upward through each of the energy centers along the spine, and also up through all the organs of your body, collecting and coalescing and gathering your force and your energy. It moves upwards, up through the abdomen, then the chest, up through your shoulders, and up to the neck. And then the ball of light pauses there. And you move your awareness to your left hand. All your fingertips have a pinpoint of light at each fingertip. And see as those pinpoints of light coalesce and move up each one of your fingers at the same time, coalescing in the palm and in the back of your hand. And then it moves upwards through your wrist, gathering all the light energy as it goes up through your forearm and elbow, and up through your upper arm and your shoulder. And it moves up your shoulder to meet the ball of light that is waiting at your neck. And then moving your awareness down to your right fingertips, 5 pinpoints of light moving up each finger, coalescing in the hand. And then that ball of light moving up into your wrist, gathering light energy as it goes up through your forearm, through your elbow, up into your upper arm, through your shoulder, and up towards your neck. And finally, that ball of light is meeting with the larger ball of light at your neck. And now that light energy that is gathered from the rest of your body, it starts to move upwards through your face and up the back of your head as well. And it gathers all the light energy from your head and your ears and your face and your brain. And the light energy comes to a pinpoint right at your third eye. So now your entire body is condensed into one very bright, powerful pinpoint of light. And then imagine that the mind, the thoughts, it's like a movie screen. It's like a blank movie screen. And it's like when we have thoughts, they're projected onto this screen. So what I want you to do is imagine that the screen is rolling up. See it in your mind. The movie screen is rolling up and then getting collapsed, and it shrinks and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it's just a pinpoint of light. It travels forward through your brain to the front of your face to meet up with the the pinpoint of light that was your body. And now your mind and your body have coalesced into one very powerful, very bright pinpoint of light. Now breathe in and out through that pinpoint of light, just imagining that the breath is just moving in and out of the third eye, that that's all there is. And you can stay like this, breathing as a pinpoint of light through the pinpoint of light. You can stay with just that if you'd like. If you want, you can add on a mantra to go with your in breath and your out breath. And if you have a mantra of your own, then use that. If you would like to use a mantra, you can use the mantra so, hum. So on the in breath and hum on the out breath, HUM. And what you are telling yourself when you say that mantra is, I am that. And what you are meaning is, I am all there is. I am one with everything. I am that. And you inwardly are saying this to yourself while you're breathing. So it's almost like you're hearing the mantra. When you breathe in, you hear so. And when you breathe out, you hear hum. And it might start to sound like the sounds of your breath in your head sound like those syllables. Or it might just be that you're repeating the sounds in your head. Or you could stay with more of a breath focused practice if you'd like. And we're just going to sit this way for the next several minutes. And we'll be in silence. And if the mind wanders, if the screen unfolds and you start to have thoughts again, just allow yourself to come back to the simplicity of the pinpoint of light and the mantra. The mind really does like to rest, actually, when we give it a nice resting spot. And so you're not going to fight with your mind. You're not going to boss it around. You're not going to be judgmental. You're just going to be very soft and very loving and very kind with yourself. That's the sense of the nurturing. And you're just letting yourself rest. You're not trying too hard. You're just resting in the breath, like being cradled in the womb. Just resting in the sway of your breath. Coming back to the mantra, if you wish. So hum. So with the in breath, hum with the out breath. And all the while knowing deeply that you are saying, I am that, which for you, it might be, I am that beautiful sunrise, or I am that tree, or I am that joy on that child's face. It might be personal like that. Or it might be a memory that you have of feeling really connected to nature or to God or to whatever word you use for something bigger. You are that. And as you rest here for a moment longer, I just want you to picture yourself. I want you to picture yourself as a tree with your crown reaching up towards the sky. Out at the top of your head are growing the branches. Your body is the trunk. And then your legs and your feet are growing downward into the earth. And see around you that there are other trees. You're in a forest. You're surrounded by other trees, and each one of us right now is pulled in. We're in the resting phase of the year, winter. But we are in the grove of trees. And even though each one of us is pulled in, we're standing next to each other. And our roots underneath the surface are all intertwined. And there's the mycelium, the little strings of the fungi that are growing on our roots, communicating, sending messages from one another. So interconnected. So it might appear on the surface that each of the trees is alone right now, but underneath the surface, we are all connecting and staying connected and communicating in very subtle ways. So I invite you to lean into winter with me, and we can use it as a time to be a little more quiet, a little more reflective, and to recede a little bit from the chaos of the world, to give ourselves just a little rest for a while. And for some of us, that might look like all the months of winter. For some of us, we may be able to recede for 5 minutes each day. Take a little rest inwardly, and then go back out and engage with the world again. So, whatever it looks like for you, see if you can give yourself even just a few minutes of just quietness. You don't even need to call it meditation. It's just going inward and doing nothing and just being still. And you can do it lying down with your eyes closed. You can do it. It's all about resting, being gentle with ourselves and just resting. May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere, without exception. I bow to each one of you. I'm so grateful you could come today. We're doing something really cool here with our collective energy. Makes a difference. So thanks. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has them.
Just a reminder, we do have a wellness talk webinar tomorrow at 12:30. entitled A Simple Self-Help Tool for Stress Reduction. You can find a link to register in the chat area. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A icon.
And just one last thing, I just want each one of you to know that I'm really thinking of you and sending you a lot of love and good energy. We're each going through our own thing right now. But I hope that we all feel supported. And I hope we all feel nourished. And, you know, I really love the idea of us creating I mean, I think we've been doing this for many years, those of you that have been coming. And I love the idea of we're just welcoming more and more people into this community and really making something, you know, co-creating something. Um, Mark says, I like to draw and paint trees. They seem to have their own souls. I agree, Mark. I've been climbing trees since I was a little girl. I used to climb the trees, and I had my own tree climbing club, and I was the only member. But I used to hide stuff up in trees, like snacks and, you know, pens and paper. And I'd go up there and talk to the trees when I was little. Um, you're welcome, Carrie. Sue. Uh, Sue says, I'm going to miss this when it ends in December. So Misty and I actually just discussed that we're going to keep doing the virtual meditation in January. We're trying to figure out the exact date it'll start up again, but I think that we're going right almost to the end of December. Of course, we're not doing it the week of Christmas, I think, but am
Yeah,
I
the
right?
last class will be the 16th.
Yeah, so we'll go through December 16th. We'll take a little break around the holidays for, you know, maybe about a month. But I'd encourage you to, you know, watch any of the recorded videos. And I also would encourage you to use Insight Timer, that free app that I've mentioned. But yeah, I know I like the live, you know, thing too, where we get together. So we'll reunite again in January. Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with us. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mary. I used to read my books in my favorite tree all the time when I was younger. Yeah, me too, Ellen. Glad you're continuing. Giving thanks for the blessings of you, peace and joy. Thank you, everyone, for all of your beautiful well wishes I'm sending you. Similar love and good energy. So thank you. And we'll see you next week.